Today we're going to be doing some graphic design work, all on Affinity Photo on the iPad. In the same way Photoshop's not just for editing photos, you can also do graphic design, web design, product design. Affinity Photo and Affinity Photo on the iPad is just the same. It's not just for editing photos. You can do graphic design, web design, product design, and more. So today we're going to be doing graphic design, and in particular we're going to be setting up a graphic design project for a birthday invitation that can be sent via WhatsApp or something like that. It's a real birthday invitation for my daughter, so I better do a good job of it. So let's get into it. As you can see, I've got my background, my new background, and we talked about this background in my last video. If you want to know more about it, please check that out. But we're not talking about that today. We're talking about invitations today. So I'm just going to bounce into Affinity Photo. These are all my previous projects. I'm just going to click on the plus icon. I'm going to go to the new document, and I'm actually going to scroll down to web. And then this wee sub menu comes up with some presets, and I actually want to go to social media story post. So I'm going to click on that and then click OK. And that's nice because now we've got the exact size that we want. Back in my day, there used to be paper invitations put in a school bag, but now there's WhatsApp groups and photos and even videos sent like this. So today we're making a birthday invitation for my daughter, who is coming 7 very, very soon, and she wanted a mermaid birthday invitation. When I'm making a project like this, the best place to go to, or at least the best place in my opinion, and that is Envato Elements. Envato Elements is absolutely fantastic, and it's a website I use pretty often, and certainly in my full-time job I use Envato Elements quite a bit. Now the only thing is, it is a subscription-based website. You do have to sign up for it to get all these files. And no, this is not a sponsored video. I am not connected with Envato Elements. I don't know anyone there. I've no affiliation with them. That said, I did sign up for their affiliate program just before I start recording this video, which means there's a link in the description, and if you use that link to sign up to Envato Elements, I will get a small kickback from that. But again, this isn't a sponsored video. I just use Envato. I've been using it for a few years now, and I think it's absolutely fantastic for stuff like, I've just went to graphics beforehand, typed in mermaid, and you get lots and lots of different mermaids and different styles. And all of these, once you pay for them, you can download any of these and use them as you wish. There's also stock video templates, music, sound effects, but quite often I use the graphics an awful lot. There's fonts too. There's tons of stuff. But I'm not going to talk any more about Envato Elements. Check it out if you want. I think it's pretty reasonable price-wise, and that's why I use them. So this here caught my eye, and we're going to go into this and download this here. So this looks well. It's quite playful. Cute mermaid watercolors. I think this would look really well in a party invitation. So I just click the download button, download without license, and hit download. And that is just going to download to my Google Chrome folder, and it's quite a big file. The great thing about Envato is they separate all these elements, so we can use all these elements individually, which is really, really good. So when that downloads, I'm just going to go to my files, and this is the Chrome folder, and you can see Cute Mermaid's watercolor is already there, and there's JPEG, there's PNG. We're going to go into PNG because in a previous video, if you remember, PNG means that it is a transparent background. So all these are cut out, and we can layer things on top of each other. And I'll just flick through some of these. This is really, really nice, and I think this will work well. So I'm just going to go into that and back into Affinity Photo, and I'm going to bring this folder up at the side here. And I'm just going to place some of these items. Of course, I want the mermaids in, and this is massive. That's okay. We'll shrink them and resize them in a wee minute. So we've got 3 mermaids. There's a nice banner. Some party hats. It's a party, so we need some party hats. There's maybe a nice wee shell. A wee pearl. Another nice shell. A wee fish. Another party hat. And some bubbles, well, maybe go for all. Oh no, didn't mean to do that. Oh well. I was about to say we'll maybe go for all 4 bubbles, but we're going to go for all 3 bubbles. That's okay, I could undo that, but we'll just swipe that away, and that's okay. So I'm just going to hide all these things, all these wee graphics, just by going into the Layer Studio and unchecking the checkbox. Now, if we start with this mermaid, and if I pinch out, you can pinch in and out for the canvas, and I'm just going to drag the corner down. And if we go into the Transform Studio, we'll just spin this wee mermaid round. And I'm not quite sure where I'm going to place the mermaid at the minute. Let's just get them roughly into size. And I'm using my finger quite a bit, even though I've got the pen here, but that's okay. You can use pen or pencil. And maybe what I'll do is, just while we're zoomed out, we'll bring all these down to a better size. I think all these will be more manageable. So we'll go back to this mermaid. We'll spin her around, and this looks like she's lying on the sea floor a wee bit, so we'll maybe bring that down a wee bit. So I'm just making the mermaids a wee bit smaller, putting them into place. They might stay here, they might not. This is our banner. Again, just go into the transform and we can just spin that around. I suppose the banner really needs to go at the top. Would look quite nice. And I'll maybe bring that banner, I'll just rotate it ever so slightly. And that means bringing this wee mermaid down. And straight away, I think that's starting to take shape, and that's quite nice. Let's see, here's a party hat. And you can also move this wee white dot, which moves the rotation, and then with 2 fingers, it'll just snap. So you can also transform it there. Well, maybe put this hat on that wee mermaid. That looks quite good. And I think there's another hat somewhere. We'll move that down here. Again, we'll just use the transforms, maybe a wee bit quicker. And maybe put it in this mermaid down here. Maybe a wee bit too big. Yeah, I think that looks okay. And again, it's all personal preference of where these things should go or how they look like. What do you think they should look like? There's a nice big pearl. And I really like doing graphic design on the iPad. There's something quite freeing about it. Just feels like you're getting in there again. I'm using my hand, I'm using my fingers. Let's see where we'll put this wee shell, maybe. Maybe put it down here. This is kind of like the seabed. Yeah, maybe a wee grips, maybe not too bad. And we need a fish. And it's not looking too underwatery at the minute. Underwatery, is that a word, Andrew? I'm not sure. Underwatery? That fish looks as if it's sleeping actually, doesn't it? So, yeah, we'll get him maybe going across there. These 3 bubbles will maybe just by dragging them all, that'll highlight them all. Now it's doing some weird stuff there. If we hold 2 fingers down, that will just keep these wee bubbles in proportion. And I would imagine what I would like to do with these bubbles is actually group them all together if that was too quick. So we just click in one, drag, and then I'm just gonna duplicate them, and that means we've got more bubbles to play with. And I'll maybe put one up here, one close to there, maybe one down here. I like that wee bubble, so we'll maybe do another wee bubble. Maybe do another one. We'll maybe zoom in and make this a wee bit. A wee bit smaller, and then duplicate it again. And we go bubble crazy. I do like that wee bubble, so, oh, that's the big bubble. We'll undo that. And maybe that's enough for the bubbles at the minute, although I do like it when there's two bubbles beside each other. So I'm going to put another wee bubble here. And the lovely thing about Affinity Photo is when you just click on these things, it just automatically selects them. So, whoa, don't want to do that. And yeah, I think that's looking really nice. And that's all our elements, but at the minute it's not looking too underwatery was the word we used. So we'll maybe do something about that. So I'm going to make a pixel layer, and we're going to move it to the very bottom, and then we're going to do our fill tool, and we're simply just going to make a bit of a gradient. So we can just drag that gradient, and then by using one finger it'll snap it into place. And we'll click on this white dot, we'll go up, and we'll use this wee eye picker to, let's see, there's a nice kind of blue on this mermaid's hair. So if we tap it, that'll change that to blue. And I'll make it just maybe a wee bit deeper. And then if we click, oh, two fingers if you make a mistake, click on this black dot, and then move over to the color studio. We'll click, that's the same blue, but I would like it much lighter. Maybe even, I think I'll actually make that white. And I'm quite happy with that. This here blue, I know I moved it, but I think I might want it just a wee bit darker. And that's really nice. And that didn't take too long. Just to put a background in, put some elements in, and it's starting to look quite nice. What I would do in this occasion, seeing all these, and two fingers to move around the canvas, seeing all these lovely drawings are a bit watercolory, what I would love is a bit of a texture for the background. When I add it, you'll see what I mean, because at the minute we've got just a nice background, a nice gradient, blue into white. But I think this background needs a wee bit of texture just to tie in with these elements. And if I move across, my Files app is still there. We'll move back again. This number 7 here, we'll just drag it into place. And this was actually also from Envato Elements, and it's just a textured bit of paper. I downloaded a texture pack. And this is one of the textures in it, and I'll maybe just rotate it round, and some of it doesn't look great, a bit of a coffee stain or whatnot, but you see this patch here, I think that patch looks really nice. So if we make it nice and big, that, I know it's not the right color, but there's a bit of a texture now, so it's above the gradient. So if I click on that, click these 3 dots, and simply now I'm just going to change the blend mode, and I'm just going across to see if there's anything that catches my eye that kind of, is it that there? I don't know if you can see it, but that's quite nice. It's a wee bit too light blue, but overlay you can see a wee bit of a texture. We'll keep going to see if there's anything else. That there's quite nice, quite different. It's not quite what we're looking. And I think I'm going to stop on divide there, which is something, or not an overlay I normally use at all, but it's, you can see just a bit of a texture. Hopefully you can pick this up on YouTube, but that's really, really nice, or at least in my opinion, that's really nice and looking really well. And it just ties it in ever so much, or so much better. So now what I want to do is want to make some text, and my daughter is called Abigail, so it's going to be Abigail's, and we'll highlight it and change the font. And there's already a pre-installed font called Mermaid Stories. And again, this is not an advertisement for Envato Elements, but I did download this font from there. You really will think this is a sponsored ad. It's not honest. It's just when you're doing something like this, it's a very handy place to get things. And that's Abigail's, and then I'm going to write birthday party, but I think this here mermaid is too big, and we will bring this wee hat down. We'll maybe just group this, so then, yeah, that's a wee bit better. And even this mermaid might be too big. Because we kind of want to make the birthday girl's name pretty big. That's not bad there. It's just not the right color. So if we go into the color studio, and I think I'm going to pick this, a nice purple for it. Yeah, that looks really nice. And then we'll just do birthday party. That's a big gap there. So what I might do is to see if I delete it. Even if I delete it, that's okay, because it looked a very big gap. So that there's quite nice. We'll maybe just put that above the mermaid so it's coming over. Normally I like things centered and neat and tidy, but I think that works quite well. Font's quite mad, it's maybe too mad, but it's okay for the time being. I'm just gonna see if I can click on this wee bubble and move it down. And if you zoom in now, you can hopefully see that texture coming through when I zoom in. And it's just not a solid background now. And I think that looks quite good. Abigail's birthday party, and we need some birthday details. So to add in our party text, we'll just click the text tool, and down here off screen I've already typed out some text, so I'm just going to paste it in using that wee icon, and that's way too big, so we'll bring it down, and we'll go into the text studio, and we'll don't want to do that. We'll highlight it all and make it go in the center. And before we go any further, this is the correct date of the party, it's the correct time, but it's not the correct location. We are not going to this location. So if you find yourself free on Saturday the 24th September 3 to 5, don't go to this location, because you'll probably not get in. And Abigail, my daughter's birthday party, isn't here. And if you know what this location is, feel free to put it in the comments. And if you know, you know. So there we go. And there's not a chance that you will be allowed in, I wouldn't imagine, unless you are a very, very important person. Also, this isn't my phone number, has to be said too. So this is our text. I'm going to move this mermaid down a wee bit, And I'm going to make this text a wee bit bigger. I know some bubbles are going over it and this wee fish will need to be moved, but let's see what we can do. We'll make it nice and big and we'll go to the positioning and we'll just adjust the spacing in between the line a wee bit just to make it a wee bit easier to read. And we'll maybe move this wee fish now with these wee bubbles. Move this bubble. And do you know what? I think it would look better if this mermaid was quite small and the text of Abigail, maybe move this wee bubble, no, try it again. We'll maybe make Abigail's text a bit bigger. I know earlier I said I normally put it in the center, and I normally do, so see if we can just find the center of the page for this. So yeah, I think that's looking better. We'll maybe make this mermaid and we'll go back and we'll do the same thing. We'll group this hat on this mermaid, put it in the same group, and all these wee mermaids were maybe just a wee bit too big. Yeah, that looks quite nice. And again, it really is just all personal preference. These things and these kind of bubbles look as if they're coming from this mermaid. All the mermaids have their eyes shut. What's that all about? So yeah, that's quite nice. Should have moved this mermaid down here, then move this up. Maybe. If I move that down, it kind of looks like got mermaids in the distance. You move that bubble there, that bubble up there. That's looking quite nice. Well, the thing I will do is every other line, if I highlight and change the color to maybe this green down here, I think that might look a wee bit better. So I'm just to break up the design and seeing this is purple and that's green, maybe click into it and just highlight it. I should maybe make this kind of bluey color. Yeah, maybe that's a wee bit better. And again, we're just choosing the blue. And I am quite liking that. Might move my fish friend, and this is being very picky now. I might move my fish friend up here and put his wee bubbles up here too. Because that wee space just kind of looks like it's made for a wee fish. We'll bring a wee bubble down here. And I think that will do us. A very quick wee birthday invitation. I've just noticed one wee mistake. There's a wee dot here for some reason. So we will remove that wee dot. Now simply all we would do is go to the file icon, export, and then I'll just name it as Invite 2022. Okay. And then I'll just save it on my iPad. And then I can just upload that to WhatsApp And that is our birthday invitation. Again, don't go to this address on this date. And if you do, let me know and let me know how it turns out. So there you have it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you learned something. If there's any other kind of graphic design projects you would like to see me make a video on, a tutorial on, please let me know in the comments below and I'll maybe consider doing that in a future video. Please like this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so. I bring out 2, sometimes 3 videos every week. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day and I'll see you in the next video.